A lot of experience with Mr. Barnaby. I don't live in Deltona, but I can't find anybody who said a bad thing about him.
Okay, thank
He
you.
talked about accessibility, and he's going to look into issues that he has, personal issues that I brought, a contrast that was Ms. Cusack, who also claims to her accessibility. 2007, 2008, I went to her office 4 times and asked for a meeting or a call back over hometown democracy to help get her to support a state constitutional amendment to protect our property rights and our communities, whether you don't want a high-rise in your neighborhood or a neighborhood in your cow area. And she never returned my call once.
Okay.
When she got to the commission, shall I stand down or shall I tell her? When she got to the commission, I asked her to come and look at the Tiger Bay issue. I begged. Not once did she come. I offered morning, noon, and night to take her, to pick her up from her house. She would not meet with me in person on it. Later, when we had this big racial issue, and the powers that be around here wanted to lynch a local cop in hopes that Al Sharpton would go away and put himself on somewhere else, I asked her to talk to me about that.
Okay.
She didn't answer that call, and on it, she accused me of being a racist, that I would treat her differently. So,
Are we
respect.
talking about the beach patrol guy with the Trayvon Martin?
Yeah, we're talking about
the
last
thugs?
night.
Okay.
She is accessible, but all she saw was my color.
All right.
Maybe it's an isolated incident.
All right, well taken. Ms. Cusack, please.
I just want you to know, Mr. Gimbo, I've spoken to you, Kimber, many times on the phone. Because I don't agree with your position on Tiger Bay, you don't need to try to put me down. And in '07, you came to my office, my legislative office.
4 times in downtown Deland.
And you came there to talk to me about an issue that I did not address, or my staff did not address to you.
I asked your staff to please schedule me an appointment where I could come meet with you personally on 4 different occasions. They said they would get with you and get back with me. I never got a call back.
Okay, this lady took care
So
of
be it, we'll have to agree to disagree.
she took care of him, he took care of her. Mr. Barnaby, please, 10 seconds. You want to respond at all?
No, I don't want to respond. I just want to thank everybody for being here tonight.
All right, that's not the end. Sir, in the back, and then
Okay, I just drove 30 miles. My name's Morton Culligan. I go to Volusia County meetings regularly, as Ms. Cusack can attest to. I drove 30 miles to come here to confront Pat Northey and ask her some questions. I drove 30 miles to come here. She didn't have enough respect for me or this little community right here to even show up. I've known Pat Northey for 20 years. She has claimed she has represented District 5 for 20 years. She has not done nothing but represent herself for 20 years. Ms. Pat Northey is a either of you are going to get my vote. I will vote campaign vigorously against her and for either of you. But I tell you what, I'll tell you who Pat Northey represents. She doesn't represent Deltona. She doesn't represent but she does represent law firms, developers, insurance companies, and wealthy of Daytona and Orlando. If you research her campaign contributions, she represents Daytona. This is the county of Volusia. This is not the county of Daytona. This is not the county of the wealthy. This is not the county of the corporate. This is the county of the people. And Pat Northey is the worst. I wouldn't vote for her at gunpoint. And I'll vote for either one of you. Now, I'm independent. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I'd vote for both of you or either one. But anybody votes for Pat Northey, please do.
the gentleman in the orange shirt, please, name and home community.
My name's Bill Wood. I'm up here. I want to get back to the topic of schooling. Now, I get the point that schooling is very important. But we got these colleges got millions of dollars worth of revenue, and you pay your football coach $5 million a year. Why should it cost us more to send our kids to college?
What college you talking about?
Well, it's a well-known fact that most of the big colleges.
Because I know at Bethune-Cookman, they don't.
Well, you got some college coaches that make $5 million
But
a
not,
year.
but not.
But every year, the tuition go up higher and higher.
The Gators make that kind of money. But
UCI.
UCI. But that is not an issue for county government. It's nothing to do with
Well, I'm just
county.
asking why don't anyone address that situation? You know, my kids is grown up. I have grandkids that's gonna have to go deal with this issue.
Right.
And probably gonna take their parents and us too to be able to afford to send them to college. But I just can't understand how you keep going higher and higher when the colleges have these million dollar profit and you can afford to pay the football coach. I don't understand the teachers want to know the truth. Why should he make $5 million a year? You want to make about $60,000 a year. But that's between them. But my answer problem is why should it go higher and higher and no one step in for the people?
Well, I don't know, sir, that is an issue that does not come under our jurisdiction, but that is a state issue for Volusia County, for state of Florida schools, state schools. Private schools, the ceiling is the limit. They can charge whatever they want to charge. There's nothing you can do about private schools. And for a state school, then the Florida legislature can put a freeze on tuition costs. And the governor can either agree with that or he can veto that.
Sir,
That's for public, that's for the,
you'll have the last one, sir.
that's for the schools that are state supported.
Ms. Cusack, I think where the gentleman is coming from is an excellent question. It's not directly to you, but it should be noted that in Volusia County, we have one of the highest concentrations of public and private universities in the country.
We have 5 in Volusia County.
And the one that we claim the most love for, besides Bethune-Cookman, the original, is the former junior college, Daytona State University, Daytona State College, which of course, just in the election cycle, it came up in our debates. Very intense, and nobody wanted to talk about it. And there was the American Music Festival scandal, where Daytona State is still out with $1.5 million. But why the disconnect between government and universities and our children and being trained and educated right here? I know nursing programs are strong, policing is strong, but what about other programs?
In what schools are you talking about?
I'm talking Daytona State College, I'm talking Bethune-Cookman, I'm talking Stetson, University of Central Florida branch.
I think they're strong. I think that Bethune-Cookman has an excellent nursing program. They have an endowment programs for nurses, and they have just started a master's degree program in public health. So I think that the nursing, I'm a nurse, by the way, and I would have, even the Gregs of the world, I would have.
I'm sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Well, what I'm saying is that you can do what, as it relates to curriculum, curriculum is usually set by the board and the governing bodies of that school. And particularly if it's a private school, you have no say so.
The gentleman here, and that's the
Gordon Meyer, New Smyrna Beach. Volusia County has the third and second highest combined tax rates, and it has been that way for years and years and years. We keep talking about it, and it's not changed. We need change. We're giving $20 million to the Speedway, which we don't have, granting this money. This stuff has to stop. We're also not represented as far as the East and the West. It's not a combined representation. It's nothing but a fight between the East and the West and how to dole out money. This hasn't changed, and it needs to stop. But I'd like to hear how y'all would stop it. I know, Mr. Cusack, you've been there for many years and also in the Florida legislature. What have you done to try to stop this? Consolidate our hospital districts.
I have been a representative of both East and West of Volusia. I do not see the Palmetto curtain, as it is traditionally called. I have worked very hard to bring economic development and empowerment to the east side of the county, as well as the west side of the county. I live in West Volusia, in DeLand, but I have never denied or done things that I thought would be hurtful to East Volusia. I was born in New Smyrna. I've always cared about New Smyrna and Daytona. So I don't see that Palmetto curtain. All I see is that we have to work together to make this a better county, countywide, cities and the unincorporated area.
Cusack-Barnaby, quickly.
I'm part of the One Volusia. This Friday morning at 10 o'clock, we're having a summit at the Bill Frantz Room for where Representative Santiago, whose seat I now hold in the Deltona area, is bringing a summit together to bring all the different parties together all over the county so that we can start working towards a one Volusia. And I agree with Mr. Meyer, we do need to consolidate all these different entities whereby we have this county so fragmented with the different hospital authorities, the different advertising. We need to have consolidation and start saving the taxpayers of Volusia County money. And while we consolidate, we also need to be very mindful, as I said, of small towns like Oak Hill and Osteen and Enterprise. We must not lose these wonderful small towns in our county.
I want to thank the audience for its thoughts. If I left anybody out with something they really need to get out briefly, or can we wrap it up now?
Yes.
Okay. I wanted to make a point about Speedway, since that came up. I've had my own recent issues with Speedway recently. I do note that I did a little bit of homework, and of course, Ms. Cusack, you got money from the Speedway.
Yes.
Basically, everybody did.
I did.
Government. Mr. Carl Lentz, the Daytona City Commissioner.
I didn't get a penny
Right.
from the Speedway.
But I believe Ms. Cusack told me the other day that.
I'm so sorry.
Well, let me just finish the point, so we're going to get into the closing here, please. The point I was trying to make is that it's kind of weird from my perspective that, and we do as a media outlets, highly support Daytona Rising and One Daytona. We are clearly supportive of that. We went up to Tallahassee, the chamber, to cover it. And Maureen, you were there. You remember we went up there and I held up the bus, trying to get some legislators on pain like that. But one of the things I discovered, and I don't have the numbers set yet, $20 million, as Mr. Meyer said, from Daytona Beach. $20 million from the county. $90 million state of Florida, which the governor's going to sign. $20 million from the Florida DOT for 2 walkways to connect the Speedway. That's $150 million total. My calculations so far, and it's rough, and it's probably a lot more, between International Speedway, other names, incarnations, the Morgan Saints, the Hyatt Browns, $150,000 minimum. And kind of campaign contributions in this election cycle alone for people like you, Joyce Cusack.
Neither one gave me money. The two you just got, Mara Husseini or Brown.
Right, but both of them are on the ISC board, but Lisa France Kennedy, I believe, gave you what?
She gave me money.
How much did she give you? Do you remember, Joyce?
Check, I don't know exactly.
It's $3,000?
Check the report.
It was $3,000.
So you've already paid it.
Well, I mean, I'm in a spot, but I will say that Dorothy Buchel got $15,000 from either Speedway or related Speedway people, and that led to the removal of my media credentials for July. But I do want to add one more thing. I want to say this, and I'm not putting Cusack-Barnaby on the spot, but I was probably the first person he called because I've been hounding you guys about the dates and things like that. And he told me it's with a heavy heart, Henry, that my mom died. And my mom died. And Mrs. Barnaby called me last night and said, we can't come. And this guy was really mad this morning. If Mrs. Cusack was mad at him for getting in her, I mean, he was mad, and he said, I'm going to be here. I've known both of these people. I've known Mrs. Cusack for years. When the KKK dropped flyers on the west side of New Smyrna Beach, there were 3 officials in Volusia County that would go on camera with me and talk about it. Recruitment flyers in an African-American community. Oh, they must have been mistaken then. No, not when, that wasn't a mistake. Jason Davis, the county chair. Cusack-Barnaby, Deltona Commissioner. At-large incumbent county councilwoman Joyce Cusack. Webster's mom died, what, Sunday, Monday?
Sunday night.
And he said, it's tough, but I'm flying out, I believe, on Friday to go back for the burial. You're here. Last night, Maureen and I and some others discussed, we're not going to beat up on Deb Denny. She's done a lot of good. And she's, you know, all the public officials work hard. But she wasn't here, no response. And the people in Oak Hill were upset. tonight I hear people from all over the county with Pat Northey. And I don't know if it matters if you've been here 2 years or 12 years or 20 years, but I have to tell both of you a lot of respect for both of you. You're first class all the way. And I love the fighting spirit, but I want to ask you one question. And I asked this at the first debate last night. There's going to be a primary on August 26th. None of you are going to drop out. It's going to go all the way. And I just want to make one sarcastic thing. I don't get booed. No. The two Miss Denny's and Miss Northey were very active today on their Facebook pages, pushing their, I've been here, I've been there, all those things. Webster Barnaby's mom died. He's here tonight. Joyce, I know there was concern about his schedule because either I gave you a wrong date or you wrote the wrong date, and there was a panic about, oh my God, I can't cancel this or do that, what do I do? And we worked it out. And this woman has always been accessible to me, and this gentleman, from the day I found out he was running, I was intrigued. So I'm not going to make a judgment on either of you. I will say this. Headline Surfer made endorsements in 2009 and 2012 was the last one. We will make an endorsement in this race. We're going to go into the primary suggesting 2 of the 3 people. I'm not going to say who they are. Come on. Let me just get through this and get out of here. Commissioner Barnaby.
Yes, sir.
If one of you gets 50% plus 1, you're it. You're on the hot seat. You're on the dais. Then the lady says, the lady here, I'm sorry, ma'am, right here. You're giving up Deltona. Maybe she'll be able to say, where's Deltona? Ms. Cusack, same thing with Mr. Gimbert back there. You're not taking my calls. I know there's support for candidates, and that's welcome. We understand that. But on August 26th, if you're a betting man, Mr. Barnaby, who are the 2 that go in the runoff in November, from your perspective, and why?
Well, I'm not looking for a runoff, Henry. I'm looking to be successful as the next county at large representative.
So you're going to win it outright?
Absolutely, come August 26th.
So you don't have a second candidate?
Well, I don't. I am the county council at large representative, and I intend to represent Volusia County.
What if you had to have one? Would it be Ms. Cusack or would it be Ms. Northey?
I've just said, Henry, and I'll stand with my decision. As I said, and I'll say it here because I was told the News Journal when asked, I believe that Joyce has served honorably. I respect her. She's a wonderful lady. Thank the Lord for her. I wish some of her supporters were as nice as she was. But that's par for the course. I'm a big boy, and I'm here, Henry, because I wanted to continue my commitment to be a professional and to be here in a professional capacity. So, like I said, I thank Joyce for her service to our county, for being a lifelong resident here, and I'm looking forward to being your next Volusia County Council at Large representative on August the 26th. I believe it will happen. I have that confidence.
Well, we're not having closing arguments in this thing. Okay, Webster Barnaby, thank you. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
I was hoping to get that second name, but you're that confident, good for you. Ms. Cusack, if the debate if we're going to August 26th primary, who are the top 2?
Top 2?
Top 2.
There is
Who goes to the runoff?
It's the one who has never lost the race. And that's me. I think that this has been great. I appreciate the fact that you're here, Mr. Barnaby.
Appreciate you as well.
I sent you something on Facebook to my condolences about your mother.
Thank you so much.
I know what it means to lose your mama. Lost mine 2 years ago. It's very, very difficult, but weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. See, I know from whom my blessings flow. And so you go and see what you need to do to say goodbye to your mom, because all of us will have to cross that path one day. Now, back to this race. Mr. Barnaby, I think that you're a courageous man. to be in this race. I want you to know that even though you may think that I have some supporters that have not been kind to you, well, I have some also. You have some that have not been kind to me. And so we will do what we need to do because it's honorable to be an honorable servant. I was not elected because I need the job. I have been elected because I want to serve. And you have given me the opportunity to serve and represent you. And all of us are capable of serving, but few of us are given the opportunity. And I thank you for giving Joyce Cusack, the girl from New Smyrna Beach, Florida, an opportunity. Never had a legislator from New Smyrna born in New Smyrna before. For giving me the opportunity to put East Volusia on the map and have a native child to be in the Florida legislature and the first person of color to represent you in the at-large position on the Volusia County Council. I'm grateful. And I hope that you will find in your hearts to give me an opportunity to continue to represent you. So on August 26th, or maybe the 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, early voting, that you will vote and give me a chance to continue to have quality representation on the county council. Thank you for a great debate and a great evening.
Ms. Cusack, hold on please. No, Mark, let's go over please. Ms. Cusack, I don't remember the year, but I know it was a while ago. Pat Northey was going to challenge for a seat that Ann McFall won by a huge amount. You, in 2009, were challenged by Margie Patchett, the co-founder of...
That was 2010.
2010, I'm sorry, I mixed up with this word. Hold on, I'll get you the last name.
I've got a minute
Yes,
situation.
yeah.
I've got to go.
Okay. Can you see that going that way now? And do you agree with her? Just tell me the answer, what you say, and I'll get her at the end. Do you agree that she's gonna do this, or are you gonna do it? When? August 26th.
Do what?
When? The primary.
I said no when.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I've got to go.
Even know what she's doing.
I'm not
Thank
in
you.
a situation, I've got to go. Excuse me.
And with that, I want to say thank you to everybody. It's been a long night, and God bless, and safe travels.
Be safe.
Thanks.